will be sinking.
You know, we are kind of on the seaside, Jasper. Oh, wow. Had a late night with family last night. And now I'm desperately... Yes, but no, because I'm desperately in need of coffee. Desperately. But this is the second day in a row that I have got the camera out.
It's my first time that I get to take my Rubik's Cube outside.
I see. Oh, look, they're crossing, Jasper. Come over here quickly. Yeah, what I'm thinking, once I've got a coffee and woken up a little bit, is we might talk about those Bose earbuds.
Keep going, Tango Kid.
Tango. Look, he does. He looks like the big fat orange snapping guy.
Here's my Rubik's Cube. Let's solve it.
Where are you going now, Monkey?
To the raggedy boat.
Where's that?
All the way over there. The old raggedy boat to then left and into the sea. People have been made in sand. Yeah, those ones. So the viewers were police right now. In the sea, got a hole in the mast.
Jasper, we are actually in the middle of a working fishing thing. Yeah, maybe not with the touching. Come on, let's go this way. I did not know this, but apparently this is a very unusual kind of way to fish. You know, where you have 17 or so active fishing trawlers. Yes, there are rip flags everywhere. Where you have sort of 17, I think there's 17 or so fishing boats that get pulled up onto the beach every day. Apparently, it's very unusual. That's the thing that they put the lifeboat on, Jasper. Okay?
To lift it up.
Yeah, to take it out of the water.
Take a lifeboat out of the water.
I've no idea. It would make sense, but the lifeboat is still quite a long way away, isn't it? I noticed they don't power this thing with electricity. That was one of those moments where I really wish I'd got the timing a bit better. You see, this camera will only do a few seconds of slow motion, and then that's it. Did you like it?
Yeah! Then let's go. And then let's go in straight up.
I'm just stomping up the hill now because it is time to go, and I have to park about 10-minute walk away, which is really convenient because it will give me the opportunity to talk about this survey that was done all about what percentage of UK buyers would consider an electric vehicle as their next car, and out of the ones that don't consider it a possibility, why they don't consider it a possibility. So, for example, there's the usual things in there: range, speed of charging, availability of infrastructure. Of course, I think I actually think is extremely encouraging. I mean, if 40% of people are willing to consider an electric vehicle as their next car, then that's hugely impressive. And out of the 60% that cite things like range and charging speed and infrastructure, they obviously don't know how built out that infrastructure is, or how good the range can be often. Because generally speaking, people seem really bad at knowing how far they tend to go without stopping. Obviously that changes once you have an electric vehicle. More than 100 miles in a go, it's not really a bother for me to stop for 15 minutes. 100 miles or less, I'd usually rather not stop. And I kind of feel like, you know, I almost don't really feel like it's early adopter days anymore. It did make me laugh actually with the survey when they were saying that power and reliability were big issues. Yeah, there's definitely some further work to do on the public perception, but not that much. Walking and talking uphill when your arm is really killing you, it's not easy. Ugh. But the good news is, we're here, we're shooting another video. Yes, and that is good. I suppose really what's going on is we're transitioning to lithium-ion powered batteries. Speaking of which, home sweet home. I miss this car when I'm not in it. Start the battery heating up a bit. Oh, that was another thing. You know, people are kind of, I think a lot of the time, the thing that puts people off EVs is fundamentally a lack of experience with them. Soph has a lot of experience on the passenger side, and she is slightly put off by that mid-range 150, 200 miles with no real opportunity to charge halfway. That is the trickiest, definitely. Still, I think I can talk her around. I think it'll be fine because she can just put charging in at her work. So, ooh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but she had a promotion recently, so that was good. Well, we've had great fun in Hastings, and I will put a link to this Select Car Leasing survey that they did, because I do think it's interesting, and there's quite a lot of information in there which I'm just not going through. I'm sort of very much looking at it from an altitude, like from orbit virtually. Right, I need to, yeah, I was expecting it to say tyre pressure too low some point soon. It seems like every 3 months, the back left tyre in particular has dropped about 4 psi. I don't know if the air is leaking out of the valve or what. That one was down to 38. I'm going to be putting my 19-inch wheels back on in hopefully the next week or two, in time for winter. Okay, so I kind of missed the beginning of that one, but that's what I'm going to be doing, because that way I'll have the all-weather tyres that come with the 19-inch wheels instead of these summer tyres, which are not so good. And then hopefully some soapy water will help me discover where the air is escaping from. I think it must be the valve. Soph will be wondering what's happened to me, so I better get cracking.
We're coming.
Fantastic. Sorry it took ages. I had to inflate the tyres. Right, so this is the way it works, right? I drive down here, I park, I put my hazard warning lights on, and then Soph runs out with Jasper. They get in the car, I go get all the bags, and then we whisk off home, and that's what's going to happen now. Hello, we were driving along, and we have just hit a deer. The airbags didn't go off, but the front bonnet is obviously very badly dented. I don't think there's anything wrong with the car mechanically, but I can't, the seatbelts are all locked now. The deer is very definitely like, dead.
Nobody hurt?
No, we're all fine. Just a bit of a shock,
very
really.
Good. Yeah, I can imagine. And the deer just crossed the road and...
It was running.
Yeah,
it was running as fast as it could, not fast enough. We hit it at about 50 miles an hour, so... Yeah. it just came out of nowhere. It was bounding across, and then literally, I think I had maybe half a second, less than half a second, certainly not long enough that I could put my foot on the brake at all or even think about it. It ran into the headlights and I couldn't see it. I tell you, I know why I couldn't see it. It's because there were headlights on the other side of the road and it was running from right to left. So it had already made it across the other carriageway and the first of the 2 lanes on the carriageway that I was on. But because it was in line with the headlights, there was nothing to see. It was just a shadow that came out of the dark, and you know shadows in the dark, and then it was in my headlights and bam. And the seatbelt tensioners like properly yanked us back in the car, and I've got to say that the car itself seems to drive fine. So let's go have a look at what happened. You know, this video is not about what I thought it was going to be about when we started shooting it this morning. Let's get some lights. Can we see anything? Yes, we can. Okay, so it's all fine. All fine. All fine. Yep. That's not what good looks like. I think you can't really see, but you can see the fluff from the deer. Oh, it's made a proper old mess. That's going to need replacing. And that. Can't believe it didn't break the light there. Plasticky bit under there that's obviously going to need replacing. Obviously the bonnet is totaled. I've still got the plastic nose cone. Wow, I think there's an imprint from the deer's head. Yep, there is. It certainly was a big old shock for me, that's for sure. Right, well, tomorrow morning, I'm going to need to try and get this sorted, aren't I? Tell you what, didn't I just pick a brilliant time to get back into daily vlogging? Loads of content to make now. Right, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for the next instalment of my daily vlog. Bye! Wow, this arm's knackered. We're swapping arms. No, we can't. Drat it. Just came out of a break. See, I can't swap it over this way because if I hold the camera this way now, it'll look like I'm suddenly walking in the other direction. I'm not walking in the other direction. So as soon as the blood is back to this hand, we'll continue.